Well, 2024 is a big year for the Olympics as well as the Paralympics. They start later this month, the Olympics first, followed by the Paralympics. And Team South Africa will once again be pinning their hopes on the track and field athletes at the Paralympics. Track and field athletes managed to win 3 out of the 4 medals that South Africa won at the Games in Tokyo. And to tell us more about the prospects of Team South Africa's track and field athletes, we are joined by Coach Jason Sewanyana, one of the coaches there. And he joins us online on Sports Live to help us look ahead. Coach, good evening from us on SABC Sports Live. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Good evening to you as well and your listeners.
Yeah, how's the feeling firstly amongst the athletes as well as the coaches ahead of the games, because they're getting closer now?
Yeah, getting quite excited because as you might know, the Paralympic athletes had their World Championships about a month ago, and we took a few youngsters there. It was a mix of youth and experience, and we actually got some good medals. So I think the whole going into Paris might be better than Tokyo from what it looks like.
Yeah, and is that what's happening now? The youngsters are coming through. We saw also at the national champs also lots of new ones making names for themselves.
Yes, certainly. A few youngsters and also just faces who, but for, I guess, Tokyo having been during COVID, some of those faces might have already come onto the scene back then, but unfortunately COVID delayed that for some of these athletes. But yeah, certainly a mix of a new crop of athletes coming through, who some of them are actually medal prospects at this Paralympic Games already.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk that the medals will once again come from track and field. Do you agree?
Well, I certainly agree. I mean, I think, like I say, I'm fairly confident that we should hopefully at least exceed, the medal haul from Tokyo. I mean, we've got, Pumelelo Mhlongo in the 100 meters, who's definitely a good medal prospect. We have Simone Priya in the discus, who just recently broke her own world record in Paris. We got Colin Kumo, who got a silver at the World Championships right now, and then Kumo in the high jump, who's ranked number 4 in the world, but certainly a serious medal contender. Plus, we have people like Luzanne, who've in the 1.5 and the marathon, who are previous Paralympic medalists. So there's really a nice crop of realistic medal hopefuls.
You mentioned Colin and even Kumo. They've actually been on the show for the past couple of weeks. And Colin was telling us there that he is gunning for gold. He feels very confident. He ran well in Japan. He was in Dubai, ran very well also. Do you see him as a real medal contender? And what have you made just of his rise? Because he's going to his first Paralympics.
Yes. When I mentioned sort of the athletes whose rise has been delayed, by COVID, he's certainly one of those. I think who would, but for that, have come onto the scene a lot earlier. So, but yeah, certainly he's a real medal prospect. Just to give you an example, He came second at the World Championships in Japan about a month ago with time in the 48-second region, and the winner ran a 47, who is from Morocco and is the current world record holder. So really, and I think Colin, I love his confidence, and he's definitely gunning for that gold. And listen, I think it's realistic for him to gun for that, because on the day anything can happen, and he was the only one who really gave the world record holder a run for his money in Japan at the World Championships.
Yeah, so do you feel that our athletes have received adequate preparations with these world champs, with the SA champs also?
Yes. So, a lot of our athletes, as you know, competed in South Africa during the South African season. And now, while it's the South African winter, a lot of them actually got a chance to compete in Europe to try and, better their chances of qualifying, upping their world rankings and the like. I mean, I'm speaking to you from France as we're preparing Phumelelo Mhlongo for the Paralympics as well. So, everyone's doing their part to try and, be ready by the time Paris comes.
And I would think you went to France to try and acclimatize and get used to the conditions. How have things been so far?
Yes, yeah. We're certainly here to acclimatize and really capitalize on the warm training conditions. Yeah, the weather has been amazing. I mean, we're in the south of France, so it's a bit warmer than Paris, admittedly. But so certainly it's a good training base. But we're told by the time the Olympics and Paralympics come, it'll be in the heart of the summer in France, and Paris does get extremely hot. So, it's a good place to prepare.
And as a coach also, how much is it a mental game also being at the Paralympics? Because it will be different also from Tokyo. There were no spectators. In Tokyo, the spectators are back, and you've mentioned a lot of newcomers here. Do you also try and work on these athletes mentally? Do you bring in extra help also to assist them?
Yes. I mean, the mental side is actually, one of the biggest components. Obviously, the physical coaching side is also important, but certainly the mental is probably where a lot of the athletes differ. Because I mean, at this level, you all talented. You're all training hard. You all have the drive and the determination, the will to put your country on the map. But what sets the athletes apart on the day is their mental fortitude, their ability to handle the pressure on the day, the ability not to sort of get caught up like a deer in the headlights. So, when the crowd's looking at you, chanting the name of the country, the French athletes, so those are things for the athletes will have to contend with. So the mental side is very strong. The team usually takes a team psychologist as well to help the athletes. So the athletes have access to the team psychologists from just prior to the games starting and right through the games. So even before that, for some athletes who do seek that out with the management team.
Yeah, and do the para-athletes also get support from the Opex program? We know some of the Olympians also get support from SASCOC. Is it also the same?
Yes, it's exactly the same. And in fact, that's what I love. In terms of the way SASCOC's gone about it, there's no difference between how they treat the para-athletes versus the Olympic athletes. We do have a lot of, but predominantly our medal prospects athletes on the Opex program as well.
Okay, wonderful. And how is Mhlongo feeling ahead of this one?
Yeah, he's feeling confident. Training's going well in France. So so he's feeling confident, enjoying the moment, but also really just looking forward to showing the world what South Africans can do.
Yeah, and will you be there with him throughout the duration of the games?
Yes. I've been blessed enough to actually be named as one of the coaching staff for the team. So thankfully, I will be with him and the rest of the team here in Paris.
And you've got a lot of experience. We're in Birmingham at the Commonwealth Games. Just for those who are not aware, what is your background, Coach?
Well, you always have to struggle to get this out of me, but I'm a previous track and field athlete myself, triple jumper, so also represented South Africa a few times as an athlete, also represented pretty much all the provinces, KZN, Western Cape, and Eastern Province. So I've done them all.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for joining us here on SABC Sports Live. We wish you all the best with your preparations, as well as the Paralympic Games. We'll be following your progress, Coach. Bonjour.
Thank you very much.
No, that's not it. That's not it. Learn a little bit. Oh, au revoir. Au revoir is the one that you say in French there, chasing Sewanyana, one of the coaches there for Team South Africa's Paralympic teams, joining us all the way from France.